The year was 2025, and India was humming with a strange, electric tension, the kind that hangs in the air just before a storm. Cities buzzed louder than usual, small towns felt expectant, and villages seemed to breathe differently. Something was coming. No one knew what, but everyone could feel it, a quiet revolution preparing to burst into the light. And at the center of that coming storm were people no one had ever heard of. Individuals who didn't look extraordinary, didn't sound extraordinary, didn't claim to be extraordinary. But they were, and the country was only weeks away from finding out. 1. A boy WHO heard what others couldn't. In a dusty corner of Jaipur, 11-year-old Arav Rathore sat on the floor of his small room, surrounded by dismantled radios. His mother always joked that he was born holding a screwdriver. His father thought he wasted too much time tinkering with useless scrap. But Arav heard things no one else did. And today, he heard something impossible. As he silently adjusted a rusted transistor from the 1980s, a soft humming tone filled the room, a frequency so pure it felt like it entered through the skin rather than the ears. His eyes widened. This wasn't radio noise. This wasn't static. This was a pattern. A musical code. Arav scribbled rapidly in his notebook, a sequence of numbers and intervals repeating with mathematical precision. He played them back on his tiny keyboard, and a melody emerged. Soft, haunting, perfect. He froze. It wasn't human. It was algorithmic. Almost like something was broadcasting a message no one else could interpret, except him. He did not know that this melody would soon make him the youngest genius India had ever produced, or that it would travel across the world to places he didn't even know existed yet. He only knew one thing. I have to find where this is coming from. And the world would soon watch what he discovered. 800 miles away, in the lush forests of Meghalaya, Nayani Dikehar, a 20-year-old with quiet eyes, sat barefoot on a moss-covered rock. She wasn't famous. She wasn't online. She wasn't even known outside her village. But she had a gift. She could see movement, even when everything was still. Where others saw still air, she saw swirling trails of energy. Where others saw a stone, she saw the memory of how it fell. Where others saw a person standing, she saw the micro-movements that revealed their fear, excitement, or lies. It wasn't magic. It wasn't hallucination. It was an extreme form of kinesthetic perception, a neurological rarity so profound that scientists didn't even have a name for it yet. Today, she was watching the forest breathe, the subtle sway of leaves, the tremble of the earth, the vibration of faraway footsteps. The entire ecosystem looked to her like an interconnected dance. But something broke the rhythm. A sharp, unnatural shift in the wind. A ruffle of leaves in the wrong direction. A tremor that didn't match the forest's pulse. Someone was watching her. She turned, but saw no one. The forest had changed, and so would she. In Mumbai, among the endless honking and neon signs, 35-year-old auto rickshaw driver Vikram Joshi rubbed his tired eyes. For 12 years, he had worked through heatwaves and monsoons, carrying strangers through the chaos of the city. He had one dream, to perform on a real stage. Not as an actor, not as a singer, not even as a dancer, but as a beatboxer. A street performer, a man who could turn rhythm into a heartbeat and sound into emotion. Everyone laughed when he said it. Rickshaw Wallace don't become artists. Try something realistic. Dreams are for kids. But Vikram knew his story wasn't written yet. Every night after his shift, he practiced under the Bandra-Worli Sea Link, his voice echoing against the pillars, his rhythms blending with the crashing waves. Tourists sometimes stopped to listen. A few recorded him, one even cried. But no one gave him a chance. Until tonight, when a foreign talent scout happened to walk under the bridge at the exact moment Vikram unleashed a sequence of beats no human had ever produced, a sound that would later be studied by vocal engineers and music scientists. A sound that didn't seem possible. The scout froze. What was that? Vikram smiled softly. My story beginning. On the outskirts of Coimbatore, in a workshop lit only by a single flickering bulb, two brothers, Raghav and Keshav Iyer, wiped the grease off their hands. They weren't engineers from IIT. They weren't graduates at all. In fact, Raghav had failed 12th grade twice. But they were inventors. And today, they stood before their greatest creation. A machine that looked like a mix of a sewing machine, a bicycle part, and a tangle of wires. To the world, it would seem ridiculous. To them, it was revolutionary. It could generate electricity using only pressure and air movement, no fuel, no batteries. Just motion, any motion, walking, wind, footsteps. Vibration from a passing vehicle. They had built it with scrap metal. Tonight, they turned it on. A small LED bulb flickered, then glowed steady. Raghev's voice trembled. If this works at scale, villages without electricity, streets without power. Keshav finished the sentence. We can light the whole country. They did not know that this invention would soon draw the attention of a global tech reviewer, and then the Indian government, and finally the world. They only knew this. We will not stop now. In Delhi, 23-year-old Rudra Balakrishnan stood alone in a mirrored studio, breathing heavily. He danced differently, too differently. His movements were sharp yet fluid, chaotic yet precise, traditional yet modern. No choreographer knew what to do with him. No dance academy accepted him. Everyone told him, "You're too strange. No one will watch this. You don't fit any style." But Rudra wasn't trying to fit in. His art came from somewhere deeper. Somewhere ancient. Tonight, he practiced a sequence that felt like the earth itself pulsing through him, a form of movement inspired by Bharatanatyam, Kalaripayattu, robotics, and something entirely his own. Something that felt like lightning trapped inside a human body. He didn't know that one performance video, shot on a cracked phone, uploaded reluctantly, would soon go viral worldwide. He didn't know he would redefine dance in 2025. He only whispered, "One day, they will understand." None of them knew each other. None of them lived similar lives. None of them were connected. Yet, but destiny was moving quietly beneath their feet, weaving their lives into a single thread. Arav's mysterious frequency, Niyani's ability to see micro-movement, Vikram's impossible beat patterns, the Iyer brothers' energy invention, Rudra's futuristic dance language, all of them were pieces of a puzzle, and the world was about to discover them. But first, they had to discover themselves.